Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on value-based management, and we are talking about the Indian ethos in management as a subject, and here the topic is value-based management. This is going to be part 2 of our lectures on value-based management. And in the previous lecture of mine, I told you about why do we need value-based management, what are the hurdles on the way of implementing value-based management, what are the benefits of value-based management, and what value means to different types of stakeholders. So, continuing my discussion with the same definition that value depends on the stakeholders, and I told you in the previous lecture of mine that if you ask a customer, for him or her the value is the quality of the product, the timeliness of the product, and the price which the customer is paying, that is basically the value which customer is deriving from the company. If you ask an employee the kind of compensation employee is getting and the substantive and meaningful job, the definition of their job, if it is substantive and meaningful, that is the value for them. Society is expecting that the company should be a less emitting company. It should not create any hazard for the environment. Environment need to be safe in due course of their manufacturing process. So, for different types of stakeholders, the values are different. If you want a share, if you ask this question to a shareholder, for them it is the economic value added, the value which is being added by the company at the end of the day. So, the value is different for different stakeholders, and creating value is basically the job of value based management system, creating value for all stakeholders, and that priority need to be decided by the management. Now, the question comes, how do we define value system? A value system is basically in work culture, in a work culture if I have to define, I would say it establishes the core principles and beliefs which are supposed to guide the behavior and decision making within an organization. So, these are two important things, the behavior and decision making. Whatever behavior my workforce is going to, the way in which my workforce is going to behave, whatever pattern of behavior they are supposed to follow, and the decision making within the organization, for that we are deciding certain guiding principle, the core principles and beliefs, and they are basically known as the value which we have created. So, what we are feeding to the workforce in terms of their behavior, in terms of the decision making, that the way they would behave with all the stakeholders, that is my value system, and that would define the work culture of my company. And these principles, they give a reflection of not only the company's identity, but also its purpose, its aspirations, what is the culture, work culture in that company, and eventually it defines the character of that company. So, when we talk about company as an artificial entity, of course, it is also having an artificial character. So, the way it is being positioned in the society, in the eyes of all the stakeholders, that is the value system of that company. Suppose if I listen to the name of a brand or name of a company, so the imagination, the perception which I draw out of that logo or out of that name, that is basically the reflection of the company's philosophy, and that is the value which company has generated. So, if majority of the people think that this is the most ethical company in our country or in the world, it means that is the character of the company which it has created, which it has earned, I would say. I won't say it is crafted, it is basically earned by the way of constant and consistent value creation. When you constantly and consistently create value for all stakeholders, and that you can only do when you are driven by the core principles and beliefs which are guiding our behavior and decision making within the company. So, what are they? The way this value system works, that I am going to tell you, the way it actually works. The first one is alignment with mission and vision of the company. Each and every company is driven by some philosophy, some core values, and you would always find reflection of those core values in the vision and mission statement of that company. People say it is a statement, I would say it's a vision and mission. It is basically a mission. Don't limit it by simply saying it's a statement. Of course, those who are reading it, for them it is a statement, but for company it is the way company lives. It is a pattern with which company lives. So, the value system should be closely aligned with the company's mission and vision, and it serves as a foundation for achieving its strategic objectives. So, I want to achieve my strategic objective, I want to emerge as the number one company in the time span of 5 years. That is my objective, that is my strategic objective, and for that foundation is what? My value system, the value based management which I am following. So, this value system is closely aligned with the organizational vision and mission, and it serves as a foundation for achieving our strategic objectives. If we talk about the values, they act as guiding stars, guiding light. They help employees in understanding the company's priorities and how their actions contribute to its success that they determine. So, if company has clearly communicated its vision and mission to all the employees, to each and every person working for the company, they understand that what is the priority of my company and how my actions are supposed to contribute to its success. You can take the punch line of any company, the guiding line of any company, and you would find, I won't take the name of any company to avoid any kind of biasness, otherwise you may think that sir is promoting this company. I won't take. You simply go through the punch line, the guiding line of that company, and you would understand that this is the philosophy with which company is working, and that is reflected not only in the vision and mission of the company, but you will find the reflection of the same in the attitude and behavior of all employees, each and every person working for the company, because they understand that this is my guiding principle. I want to make your life better, I want to contribute towards the betterment of your life, your working pattern, and for that we are dedicated and committed. So, whatever activities we will perform will ensure that my customer should find it easy to perform, my customer should find our product as a solution to their problem. So, if that becomes the attitude, of course, there is an alignment with mission and vision, and this is the kind of value system which we create, and it comes only with the value system. With the value system only we can tell our employees that you will only find commensurate compensation when company is performing well, and company can only perform well when it is able to achieve its goal, and it can only achieve its goal and objective when your goals and company's goal, they are aligned together. So, this is something which we need to tell our workforce. There has to be a proper communication, and it is basically called the value for the workforce. The value for company is what? Value for company is we want to emerge as we want to achieve our strategic objectives. That is our value. That for us, that is a value. And for employees, what is the value? I told you. For employees, the value is the compensation which they are getting, the status which they are getting in the society and the company as an employee of that company. That is the value for them. So, these values, they act as a guiding light, and they help employees in understanding what should I do to ensure that the goal of my company is being achieved. Next is behavioral expectations. There are certain behavioral expectations also. Values define the expected behavior and attitudes which employees should demonstrate in their interactions with colleagues, clients and stakeholders. The way they talk to their clients, the way they talk to their colleagues, the way they talk to their other stakeholders, that is a behavioral expectation, and it is again defined by the values. The communication of values, the value with which the company is working. By clearly articulating these expectations, the value system is setting a standard for professionalism, integrity, respect and collaboration. So, if we clearly articulate these expectations, that what these are the behavioral expectations which we want from our workforce, we can ensure a value system which sets standards for integrity, respect, collaboration, because these are the terms which are needed for survival for long, which are needed for sustainability. You can only sustain when your entire work culture, your entire working pattern is based on these crucial values, these important components. So, we want alignment with the mission and vision. For that, these are the important aspects. We want cultural norms. The value system influences the cultural norms. and the practices which shape daily work life, or what you call as routine work life within the organization. So, the cultural norms which we are creating, the practices, the do's and don'ts which we have decided, and these norms they are established around communication, teamwork, accountability, innovation, fostering a positive and inclusive work environment. So, we are establishing norms, that is do's and don'ts, for these important aspects of our work culture. So, work culture is defined by the way our team performs, what I have done for affixing the accountability of my workforce, the way we communicate, the way we ensure the positive and inclusive work environment, that actually defines the cultural norms. And if we look at decision making framework, that also should be aligned with the vision and mission of the company. When we are having multiple choices, how do we take decision? When you have to select among the different choices, how do we select the best one? If we talk about employees, they can refer to the organization's values to decide the most appropriate course of action which aligns with its principles. So, when I am having multiple choices for taking a decision, it is the core value of my company which becomes a guiding principle for me, which actually tells me the way out, that here suppose I have to decide between the short term gain and long run sustainability, what should I choose? Whether short term gain which I should go for, or I should look for the long term sustainability. Of course, if my value system is properly communicated, my organization is value based, and we are getting aligned with the mission and vision of the company, then of course, while making a decision, each and every employee will always think of those values, will always choose choose the long term sustainability before this short term gains, because they know that this is not at all the philosophy of my company. There are a number of situations where in practical life you find that there is a rumor of some shortfall, or there is short supply of a particular product. So, the ethical companies, they always come forward, they never gain short term profits from that rumor. They always communicate that there is no shortage, companies committed for the continuous and consistent supply of the product. So, in case of some of essential goods, at times we witness this kind of rumor, and there the value of that company, the value based management of that company is being reflected in their behavior, in their notifications. So, ultimately what we have to do, we have to get aligned with the organizational mission and vision, and for that the employee engagement is another dimension. Strong value system always ensures, always enhances employee engagement. Then how it does, how it ensures the employees engagement, how does it enhance the employee engagement? By the way of creating a sense of purpose, that whatever I am doing, what is the purpose behind performing this work? I should have a sense of belongingness to the company and pride in that organization. So, when I find my employees to be engaged with the company, when we are able to enhance employee engagement by creating a sense of purpose, belongingness and pride in the organization, then of course, there is no reason they would not get aligned with the company's mission and vision. If we look at the brand reputation, another point, brand reputation is basically customers, partners and other stakeholders, they often evaluate the company based on their values, ethical standards, and they of course impact, they of course have an impact on the brand equity, the reputation which company has earned as a brand. So, their credibility and long term relationship, it is basically it emerges on the basis of a management which is value based. So, it is the value which drives all the stakeholders, all the employees to work in such a way that they are able to create a brand which is having a reputation, strong reputation in the market. Now, the question comes that when we all know, these are some of the examples of how do we get aligned with the mission and vision of a company. The question comes, can we have some examples of some key components of Indian value system for a better understanding? As an example, we can talk about some of the Indian value system, some key components of Indian value system. It is spirituality and ethics, spirituality and ethical principles. They are integral to Indian culture. and they basically shape the business practices, decision making, and the organizational ethics in alignment with moral values. India is known for collectivism. We value collectivism and community welfare. We that translate into teamwork, collaboration, and mutual support in the workplace. So, collectivism is another example of Indian value system, where in Indian society we value a lot to this component of collectivism, because it ensures the community welfare. It translates into teamwork. People collaborate. They create an environment which is work environment which is cohesive. Each and every one is talking about the coexistence. So, collectivism, along with collectivism, we have another value in Indian system where we do respect for authority. We have a huge amount of respect for authority. Indian value system places importance on respecting authority regardless of their position in the hierarchy. Although the top management is always given due regard, but that does not mean that people who are working at operating level, they are not at all being regarded. Their works are equally recognized and rewarded. So, this entire concept of respect for authority, the feeling for respect for authority, it influences organizational structures, leadership styles, and communication patterns. Coming to the work-life balance, Indian value system puts a lot of emphasis on the importance of maintaining a balance between the work, family, and personal life, and it influences the company's policies and practices which are related to employee well-being and work-life balance. So, work-life balance is another example of Indian value system. There are many other, but I have taken some of them. A strong value system forms the foundation of a healthy work culture, we all know, and it drives the company's performance, employee engagement, and ethical conduct. If we are able to understand and adapt the rich diversity of Indian value system, companies can definitely create the inclusive, resilient, and value driven workplaces which can contribute to long term success and societal well-being. So, if we somehow we are able to find, if you ask me about the Indian scenario, if we are able to find the Indian values in our company, if we implement them in a proper manner, then of course we can ensure a company which is value driven, we can ensure a workplace which is value driven, and that will definitely contribute to long term success and well-being of that company. Now, the question comes, having discussed about all these aspects of value based management, its benefits, the hurdles on the way of implementing value based management, what is Indian value system, going through certain examples of Indian value system. Now, it is time for us to understand what is the relevance of value based management. Sometimes our learners, they are facing this as a question in front of them, that do you still find them relevant in today's world? We are in the 21st century, can we still talk about the value based management? My answer to you is, since we are in 21st century, it becomes more important for us to have a management which is value based. We should follow this management philosophy of value based management, where we create value for each and every stakeholders. So, now I will be telling you about the relevance of this entire philosophy of value based management, and it lies in its ability to align. Why it is relevant? Why it is relevant in the marketplace? Why it is relevant in the company, regardless of the geographical area or the type of company you are dealing with? It lies in its ability to align organizational strategies with value creation. It ensures the performance excellence. It ensures the creation of sustainable value for stakeholders. These are some of the important reasons why this value based management is still relevant, and I would say it is relevant nowadays. It is very much relevant nowadays. So, it is the ability of the value based management which is making it relevant and important. In today's complex and dynamic business environment, if you ask me, I would say that value based management is offering a comprehensive framework to any company for driving organizational success and achieving long term sustainability, because you can drive your success, you can achieve organizational success for an year or so, but how to achieve long term sustainability, that is something which is rare in any other way of management than going to the value based management. So, if you ask me about the relevance of value based management in points, I would say it ensures strategic alignment, it it is with the help of performance measurement, incentive alignment, capital allocation, risk management, long term sustainability. That is something which is very important. So, these are the important contributions of the value based management. It is the ability of the value based management to ensure all these points, because of which it becomes very much relevant. I'll be exemplifying some of them. If you ask me about strategic alignment, how it is performed by value based management, how it does. If you ask me that in what way, in what manner value based management contribute towards strategic alignment, I would say it would align the company's objective with value creation, ensuring that each and every activity and decisions, they contribute towards long term shareholder value. If you have value based management, it would ensure that each and every activity of that organization and its decisions, they are supposed to contribute positively to the long term shareholder value. Imagine if we ensure that even the smallest of decision, the smallest activity and the simplest of decision is focusing on the long term shareholder value, that in one way or the other they are supposed to contribute to the long term shareholders value, there is no point that the company is not able to sustain. So, this strategic alignment is something which is done by the value based management, and it helps the focus the companies to focus efforts on initiatives which have the greatest impact on overall performance. So, whether you name any technology from the western field or even the eastern corridors, whatever methodology you name, but it is a value which is there as a foundation. So, value based management is relevant because it ensures the strategic alignment. The strategic alignment is something which is very important when each and every activity of your company and every decision contribute to the long term shareholders value. It also helps in performance measurement. If you look at the value based management, it offers a framework for measuring performance beyond traditional financial metrics. There are traditional methods, but value based management is giving you a framework wherein you can measure the performance. It emphasizes on value drivers, for instance customer satisfaction, employee productivity, innovation, offering a more holistic view of organizational success. Your company is able to ensure customer satisfaction, but employees are not productive, then what will happen? It would actually increase your cost of production. Your company is not embracing the innovation, you would lag far behind from the expectations of the customers. You will not be able to satisfy your customers. So, we need to, while measuring the performance of all the workforces or each and every employee working in the organization, we should ensure that the measurement is basically based on the value drivers. What are my value drivers? So, whether my customers are satisfied, employees are productive, innovation is as per the requirement, and we are looking at the overall management, the total quality management of the company, then of course there is nothing which can stop the company from being sustainable. And it is something which can only be performed by, which can only be done by the value based management. Incentive alignment. How do we align incentive? When we link performance incentives to value creation, imagine that performance incentive is there, that your employee will get the incentive when they perform. Of course, incentive is supposed to be a motivating factor for those who perform, but when it is linked to the value creation, what will happen? It would motivate employees at different levels, at all levels, to work towards common goals. My employee is able to ensure the proper production at lower cost, but in due course of that process, there is some negative impact on the quality. Production is done within no time, but the cost has increased. So, employee has taken minimum time to produce a given product, but what about the cost? Cost has increased. So, if they are not able to contribute to the value creation process, it means my employee is not eligible for the performance incentive. So, this incentive alignment need to be done with the common goals, and this can be done by the value based management. It ensures that individual efforts contribute to the company's overall success and foster a culture of accountability and collaboration. if I am making my employee accountable for for their job. You have completed a production process, you have completed a task within the given time framework, and you wish you to be eligible for that incentive. But what about the increased cost that you have incurred? So you have not contributed. There is no alignment to the value. So my performance incentive need to be linked to the value creation, the value which I have created as a workforce. The same is applicable for capital allocation. The value based management basically ensures that capital allocation should be done in such a way that it ensures that all the resources are allocated to projects and initiatives should generate highest returns. You should invest in the most profitable ventures, and it comes from the value based management only. So you can say that it is basically a more disciplined approach, and it helps us in optimizing investment decisions and maximize shareholders value. So my dear learners, with this we had talked about the different shades of value based management, what is the relevance of value based management, what it is all about. But one point which I would like to highlight here is that it is a value based management philosophy which can ensure, it is this philosophy only which can ensure the long term sustainability of the company. The practices which consider ESG factors nowadays, where we ensure environmental, social and governance, all factors to be considered. So with this I am ending my today's lecture. I hope you must have understood the relevance and the importance of value based management in 21st century business organizations. I hope you must have enjoyed today's lecture of mine. Thank you so much.